What is going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC. I am your host, of course, Crash, in the building. Full cup of coffee on this lovely Monday night because my days just get started.
I mean, it's been so rainy the last couple of weeks. If you didn't get any sleep throughout all of that, my goodness.
Oh no, bro! I can go to sleep in the rain. It's just so much damn rain. I got a yard to deal with, dog. This is ridiculous.
No,
but
I totally get it.
Yeah, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I mean, of course, I got Static G here in the building, of course, and we're here to talk about some fighting games. This is Double Tap podcast dedicated to everything and anything to the fighting game community. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us at Double Tap FGC, of course, and follow us on YouTube, where we tend to put up a bunch of these and the full episode of the podcast and some highlights in there at Double Tap FGC. Go subscribe over there, go check it out, because we've got plenty to talk about. Make it a little easier for y'all that ain't listening a full podcast platform, your favorite one. You can listen it over there on YouTube. But man, we got some stuff to talk about. This is episode, what episode is this actually? I gotta double check. 319? Yeah, 319.
Yeah, for those that can't see, my background is just going bananas. Two different colors, crazy. Red and blue. I wonder what's gonna happen. Boom! Open up. No.
The police, the Capcops are here. Exactly. So this is recorded on the 1st of May, by the way. Yes, we are now in May. We are T-minus 1 month, 1 day away from Street Fighter 6's release. So I'm super stoked. But we've got other things to talk about, not just some Street Fighter 6, even though that is going to be a little bit of the meat and potatoes today. But let's just jump right into it, man. Let's just get into it right here into our Fighters Corner. Let's get into some Street Fighter 6 off the rip, man, because we got plenty to talk about there. So, so there've been some waves, man. I mean, the demo's been out, right? The demo's been out. It's been out now for, I want to say, when did it go out? It was like a little over a week now, right?
Well, the 26th was the Steam
excuse
one.
me, the 26th was the Steam one, yes, correct.
2 weeks already, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
We did talk about it last show.
Yeah. So it's now out on Steam. Modders, I will tell you right now, Capcom, I plead the fifth. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not incriminating myself in any way, shape, or form. But I have heard that the modders have dug into that super fast, into the back ends of Street Fighter 6, the demo on PC, trying to see if we can unlock any of those other characters. I don't say we as in I'm a part of that. I'm just saying we in general as us players. There's gonna be a lot of legal talk this week. A lot of legal speak. Yes and no questions only, please.
Jargon.
A lot of that. But yeah, so they kind of went in, unpacked the game. There are some mods that you can apply to it, but there's no data there for unlocking the other players, the other characters, which I'm not surprised. I kind of talked about it in last week's episode. I don't think Capcom was just gonna let that shit fly like that. Like they're clearly taking precautions because Street Fighter 6, man, it's the new title, a numerical title to the greatest series that they've ever created, to a genre that it's created on its own, and the first one, in this new generation, right, and kind of a pivotal time for video games, for fighting games, for competitive games, and they're not fucking around.
Yeah, I mean, why did it? I don't know. How do I say this? Why even put it on Steam? The beta, the demo.
Because they didn't want what happened to fucking Jedi Survivor happen to Street Fighter 6. And we're talking a company that is multiple times bigger than Capcom. We're talking about EA, obviously.
Yeah.
And they couldn't come out. I mean, sure. Is Street Fighter 6 doing incredible photorealistic scans and techniques to make it look the way it does, like Jedi Survivor? No, still looks great though. Don't get me wrong, still looks amazing. Right. I want to be very, very clear there. But when that's what happens when you don't kind of test that. You have to put it out there in the field. You don't know until you get that big piece of data to sample from. When it comes
is online really bad?
No, it's just the game is terrible on PC. There are so many PCs, like high-end PCs are okay. It's like, but there's like incredible incompatibility with certain drivers and certain just complete like PC setups that people like specifically PC just are not having a good time. They don't want that to happen.
Kombat.
yeah, they don't want that happening, right? You don't want to have a bad port, so they got to put it out there, man. They got to see if there is going to be an issue, catch it now as fast as possible, right? I'm not saying it'll unfortunately be fixed in time. Well, for a month, maybe, you're a month out. There could be some tweaks done for like a day one patch. But yeah, of course, they had to put it out on all consoles, especially like I said. Now it's such a pivotal time for fighting games that we're getting, like I said, MSIs now involved in more tournaments, right? So you kind of want to make sure your games are playing fun, good with them. That opens up doors, relationships. This it's a whole business aspect to it, as well as just supporting the amount of PC gamers that have increased over the past couple of years, right? Due to one of the big things, obviously, since quarantine, right? Everybody was gaming, so they had to. They really had to show it out. They had to put it out there, so that way it could be out in the field and they could get all that data to be collected. But yeah, I mean, regardless, the demos, everyone's trying to, we talked about it last week. Everyone's trying to defeat level 8 Ryu max advantages, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Out of 400 times.
Out of 400 times. But hey, if that was a dub, I don't care. If that was tournament stats, that means if that was your last tournament placement and performance, then you did really good. You're only as good as your last tournament appearance, right? So right. So we've had the demo. People have just been playing it, and there've been some developments since. So actually, 2 days after the demo went live, we had a tweet come out from Capcom Fighters, official Capcom Fighters Twitter. You can tell it's official because it's got a gold check mark. That's how you know. So they've actually finally gone ahead and acknowledged the closed beta test crack. Momochi was kind of already making waves talking about it, and funny enough, then to see Capcom then almost kind of pseudo replied afterwards is really interesting on the timing. But stating now, it's come to our attention, some users have been accessing the closed beta software and playing the game outside of designated period. It's a violation of the CBT terms of service and can be seen as a violation of the Capcom Pro Tour Code of Conduct. For the avoidance of doubt, from this point forward, any player who is shown with, keywords here, clear evidence to be accessing the CBT in an unauthorized way may be determined ineligible for the upcoming Capcom Pro Tour and Street Fighter League seasons. It's with an S at the end. I know I made it sound very Z-like, but that's with an S. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding in helping maintain the fairness and competitive integrity of our competitions. So, a couple of things to take away from here, right? Some really interesting stuff, the way they wrote this. If you take it at the highest, the surface level, it's a warning. It's like, hey, we find out you're doing it, you get banned. But there's little intricacies in here. I don't know if you've noticed it when reading it, but one of the first big things I want to say is that first sentence in the third, I don't want to say paragraph, just the third sentence. That's a whole damn sentence, isn't it? Yeah, that's a long ass sentence.
Yep.
For the avoidance of doubt, from this point, emphasis on this point forward,
right?
Meaning anything before, this was tweeted out 28th, right? 28th. From the 28th forward, any player who is shown with clear evidence to be accessing the CBT in an authorized way, blah 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 blah. So what they're saying, from what I'm looking here, in clear black and what looks like to be sky blue, they aren't counting allegations or maybe talks about certain
accidental
players.
stream
pushes.
Sorry,
exactly.
There's this one that I've seen that's blatant, and it's just like,
yeah. There's
so
several.
we're just gonna show favor there. Cool.
Maybe even YouTube creators that are also maybe part of the Capcom creators, camp, stuff like that, right? Like they're kind of looking at all the fields here. So saying from this point forward, from the 28th of April till when the game comes out, that's when they're going to look at that. So if you're going to look at your timestamps, people have already talked stuff about other players that we've even said, in certain tournaments that already went down, that like clearly you have the crack, he has the crack, he's been playing it, that's why he's so good, right? They're ignoring all of that. They're not going to backlog and backpedal on all that until they've deemed it that they were acknowledging it. So that's interesting. That saves a lot of face for a lot of players. known or otherwise, right?
Right.
And creators as well. So that's how you can now take that if you were to, like I said, take this as black and white. It's from the 20th moving forward, and then the clear evidence is I guess they need a smoking gun. Like, we need the VOD, we need the timestamp, we need to know exactly when, because I mean, like, I know the internet went nuts. Like, I just fucking love the internet when everyone just starts putting their reactions, you know.
Yep.
The LeBron James gif pulls the ref, like, starts pointing here, right here,
Ugh.
here, or the, you know, phone call guys, like, I get mixed one time, excuse me, Capcom, right? Like, like, I felt the same way. I was like, bro, if I'm in grand finals, I get mixed really bad, and come to find out I knew this guy was playing the crack, I'd be right down the side. I'm like, yeah, good job, good game.
Man in the audience.
I was
pre-show.
Yeah, yeah. Random man in the audience
from pre-show. Wow, that combo is really good.
Shout outs to Tega. We know Tega was playing Rue like that. We know that was real. That was as real as it gets. It's just James Chen clearly didn't know who the rando was. But all up. But yeah, it was fucking hilarious. You know why? Because with that money is on the line, bro, $1 million first place. Shit, yeah. Allegiances are going to go down. Do you think this will be? Do you think we'll actually see a situation like that in the future?
Of what? What type of situation?
Somebody trying to dime somebody else out. You think we'll see that? Like at that level. Like, say fucking top 32's decided for Pro Tour. Do you think we're gonna then get a Capcom Pro Tour branded tweet? It'll be like, upon an anonymous tip about so and so player, we have come to under the investigation to find out that this player did indeed play.
And then the subtweet is gonna be like the evidence.
Yeah, like, do you think?
And it's freaking you know, attorney. What's this called? Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright. Yeah. Yo, do you think we actually might get something like that?
I don't know. I really don't know. But this is great. I wouldn't know. Like, how do you enforce that upon? Like, that's really low. But I mean, these are the same people that would push. That
it's a million, but static. It's $1 million.
No. That's what I'm saying. These are the same people that will take the game if their friend paused it in front of them, you know? Like, remember, Flux said, yo, if my mom paused the game, I'd still take it.
Damn, that's real. That's real.
Yeah. Well,
there you go. Yeah, you know what? Perfect. Shogun on Twitter. Shogun on Twitter. Definitely. Starting now. Exactly. Starting now. Everybody, shut the fuck up.
The Kramer. Yeah.
Nobody say anything.
Yeah. So funny.
If you snitch, you know what happens to snitches. I'm not gonna keep going, but you know.
Yeah, but you know, it's something that I did bring up last week that we brought it up. 6ix9ine. That's funny. I said, you know, if you're playing the whatever crack beta, you're still gonna have to deal with what, 8, 9 other characters.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Exactly. That's why I'm like, I'm not sweating it that hard, to be honest. Like, yes, like whoever the Ryu and Luke maids are gonna be, y'all gonna be insane when the game drops, because that's
especially
all
now.
motherfuckers have been playing. Yeah, that's all motherfuckers have been playing. So that's gonna be fresh. And Luke and Ryu are going to just be the most common characters you're going to find. I mean, there was already a high chance that Luke and Ryu could be more Ryu. We're gonna be like some of the more common characters that you're gonna see out there, especially early on, because people are jumping in. Ryu's the Mr. Street Fighter, right? Luke is supposed to be the new Mr. Street Fighter, so maybe, you know, you can kind of, you know, dip your toes there. But now the fact that those two are the only ones in the demo, like those lobbies, that matchup is gonna get learned so quick, because those lobbies are gonna be full of them.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be something interesting. If I'm having trouble like now with the computers, I'm doing the CPU 8 and all that stuff. Like, this game's hard.
yeah, basically.
So like, I don't. I'm speechless as to what to expect. It's gonna be very funny. Like week 1, or even as CEO, everybody's gonna be getting side eye. Like, if you're not picking Luke or Ryu, you're definitely gonna be getting side eye.
Yeah. You know, but yeah, it was interesting that the Capcops were out here full force to tell us, but now we know, right? Now we know. Check yourself starting now.
Somebody said safe jump, like immediately.
Exactly. I see him next. I'm going to CEO. CEO's gonna have the most call out. Yo, Jabali, I hope your TOs are ready. Hope your TOs are ready for the snitching. Hope if Jabali was smart, he set up like an anonymous hotline, like right there to run to the phone to call on somebody,
or a cap button, like a button at the table. Just beep, 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 beep,
maybe we should show up there with a phone, right, and be like, just roll up on people and be like, "Have you found anybody?" And just make confessions. Be like, "Yo, no names," but then just say what happened. Oh, I think I got an idea.
Or the quiet box room that's like the sort of like interview room for like Survivor.
exactly.
Or Big Brother.
Oh my God! All right. So Capcom's made their stance, but the other thing that they did make was this segue to this ad break that we got to go to real quick. So we'll be right back after this. Some more Street Fighter news here on Double Tap. All right, we're back. We post bail. We out. We got some fresh air, but
it said seasons, man.
It said seasons.
It said multiple.
Seasons. No. Yeah. I got out on parole, bro. I got out on I got out on good frame advantage, baby. Frame advantage. Yeah. Exactly.
Good blocking.
So my attorney parried the shit out that case. So that's not gonna be the only thing we're gonna be talking about Street Fighter wise. Something really interesting came out earlier from an article on from the president and CEO of Capcom, talking about like the future titles and Crossplay. But they did also go into talking about this came from Famitsu. It also did talk about their expectations on how Street Fighter 6 is going to do, which is really, really cool. You rarely hear about, like, the most you hear is like how much the game was spent on, kind of like movies, right? Like they spent this amount of money to create this product. They need to sell X amount in order to, break even, and need to sell X amount to be a success, right? So talking in the interview, Street Fighter, they had some really interesting tidbits. Like Street Fighter 5 has sold over 7 million copies, and we applied the digital rule of thumb here. So that's including Steam sales and such, not just, and digital stores and all, not just hard copy, right? Not like how it used to be. And they should be able to aim for 10 million copies for the next title in life. So we will also focus on esports, which was not enough for 5, and expand the genre base. But that was a nice little interesting tidbit there. But 10 million, man. 10 million copies in lifetime. So once again, 7 million copies for Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 was what? 2015?
2016? 15, yeah. 15.
I thought it was 15.
I would say 15, yeah. 14 was the last one for 4. Street Fighter, last Evo for Street Fighter 4, yeah.
Yeah, so 2015 till 2020. I want to say, if they're going to go off of their fiscal years, I want to say 2022. So 7 years. So 7 years, 7 million copies, million a year. It's not bad. 10 million copies for Street Fighter 6. It's 2016? Okay, so it's for 6. So a little over
February 16, 2016.
So 10 million copies for Street Fighter 6. We're talking all platforms. Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, God forbid, Switch. We don't know what they're gonna do there. Maybe any possible new generations. We don't know. I don't think is that bad. I don't think it's unachievable. Once again, fighting games are a much smaller genre compared to, your typical, I don't want to say AAA game, because it is a AAA game in terms of fighting games and all, but it's not like, you know what? It's so weird. It's kind of hard for me to say that because of the amount of content that's in it. It is pretty. It's a lot. Like,
yes,
but it's not cutting edge, tech, right? Where it's not a like a Death Stranding, Jedi Survivor, like crazy tech, or like Resident Evil even, right? Like Resident Evil, especially things like Resident Evil 7, when that became a thing, right? They banked a lot on building the RE engine, streamlining their workflows to make super photorealistic things, and just the way they did the entire management on how they create games there. It's actually, if you haven't already, go check out this documentary on Resident Evil 7's making. Very interesting stuff. So
Kitchen,
the reason,
right?
what's that?
It was called Kitchen at first, right?
Yeah, it was called Kitchen at first. That was like the VR experience that they pitched at the time. But yeah, the reason I bring it up is because, you know, Street Fighter 6 runs on RE Engine. The RE Engine has definitely paid in itself in full, especially looking at, you know, Resident Evil 4, right? 4 million copies in the first 3 days, or 3 million copies in 4 days. I forget how much. It already, you know, it was already knocking on the top 20 or the top 10 most sold copies for a game for Capcom. I think as of right now, if I look at the actual numbers, most sold games for Capcom, I've looked at it before, but trying to, I know, Monster Hunter I know is like top one and two, like Monster Hunter World, and I forget what the other Monster Hunter was, but those two are definitely they're in the top two. Yeah, Monster Hunter World is at the top at 18.6 million, right? While as Monster Hunter Rise is at 11.7 million. Wow. Okay, that just reset it. Thank you. And then Resident Evil 7, 11.7 million, right? That is top three, right? RE Engine comes out, revamp, and granted, Monster Hunter World is runs on RE Engine as well, right? Like it's like I keep harping back on it, but it's a pivotal thing. I mean, Resident Evil 2, 2019 is fourth, right? Like Street Fighter, 7 million copies, 9th place. So it cracks the top 10. It just beats out Devil May Cry, and I believe Street Fighter 2 is, yeah, I would say 2 did more than 4, I believe. So 2 is at 6.3 million since 1992, right? But that's, you know, kind of long in the tooth there. So right now, Street Fighter 5 is the only one that has cracked the top 10 in terms of fighting games for Capcom in its lifetime at 7 mil. So to make it at 10, we're now competing with Monster Hunter World Iceborne. And kind of like on the precipice of Resident Evil 2 Remake. And Resident Evil 2 Remake was a whole other build-up, right? From 90... What was Resident Evil 2 was like 93? 93 or 94, something like that.
Part 2?
Yeah, the original. Oh, 98, sorry. 98.
Yeah,
that was way too early. Yeah, my bad. I forgot it's PlayStation. Yeah, 98. Yeah. Like, you know, and that was 21 years? Am I thinking that right? 1 to 2 years? Yeah, 21 years of waiting for Remake to come out to do those numbers. Yeah. Right? Like, 21 years on that. So for them to come out and be like, yo, 10 million copies is what we're looking lifetime. I mean, 10 million over, let's give it, I don't know, let's give it the same amount of time that Street Fighter 5 got, right? It was, what, 6 years? 2016 to 2022, I want to say? 6 years. 6.5. We're talking 1.2? 1.125 or something million a year is what they need to be selling. Worldwide, whatever the platform. That's a lot of units. That's a lot of Hadokens, my friend.
I stopped being a math major a long time ago.
What are you talking about? You play fighting games. You're half the time all you do is fucking math. Plus, minus. Marvel. Yeah, Marvel. No. Marvel. It's just like, you know. What did I hit? What did I hit them with? Like, was that a heavy? Okay, cool. The scaling's not bad. Like, I'm in there. That's it.
Marvel players don't do math.
Yeah, we don't do math.
That's why there's somebody. That's why Morgan always survives with a pixel out.
Yep. But yeah, so 10 million copies is pretty wild. I think they could do it. It's just, you know, and like I said, Street Fighter 6 already has a good foundation, right? Like the single player, man, they are banking hard on it.
That last trailer really solidified what they can do with just a game, releasing a game not just for competitive sides either.
Yeah.
Like, and people will stick around for this game for a while.
And it's, you know, the game is now also going to do more things that it hasn't done, right? They're going to focus more on the esports side of things, right? They're going to focus it more clearly. They already have with the money that they're putting in, right? That's going to make more eyes come to it. But then the single player, like you said.
Yeah, that's not their only focus this time.
Nope.
Last time it was just like competitive aspect. We have a story mode yet? No.
No.
We got to work on it.
We got a part 2 coming.
Yeah, right? No, didn't happen. Yeah.
Never happened.
No. Weird. It's a very weird game.
Yeah, but because you know why? Because it was in the crossroads of the handoff, right? Ono getting, you know, leaving. Yep. and now the new blood coming in to kind of start taking things up, as well as Street Fighter 6's development while Street Fighter 5 was happening, right?
Yes.
That was also coinciding. It's not like Street Fighter 5 ended and then they started developing 6. Like, remember, 6 was already in the works. I assume 6 was in the works ever since, quarantine, when we decided to get Luke and 11 and such, right? That was not, I don't think it was, to this day, I have my suspicions that we were never supposed to get that character in 5.
Yeah,
we're supposed to end with 11.
Gil and Seth were supposed to be the last two, obviously. And just the way, even its development at the start, like it was supposed to be Sony exclusive, or it was, and then that sort of messed up where they had to restart the game apparently, where Chun-Li had 2 fireballs and they were like, nope, do it over.
Oh, yeah.
They kept the stage and decided to just revamp everything, and we got a completely different game. So there's that.
Yeah, so I would love to just have a sit down with somebody from Capcom talking about this and just be like, yo, what the fuck happened? Like, just talk to us. What happened? As much as you can without busting an NDA or whatever. What in the hell happened? Are we right? Is this correct?
I want to also say that Marvel 3 had the same sort of instance where the first build of the game had even different voiceovers.
Yeah.
What's his name? Deadpool was saying something like pineapple surprise, or was it?
Yeah.
Or was it just pineapple?
No, he still says it. He still says pineapple surprise.
Now he says pineapple surprise.
Yeah.
And before he was like pineapples, and it was almost a different game, different feel, and everybody had like an air dash, and then they implemented the air dashes in the mods. I don't know if you've seen the 1v1 mod that like TNS has been running. That everybody's given an air dash.
Well, yeah, that was coming from like Heroes and Heralds and shit, right? Like that's where a lot of that came from. That's where a lot of that was programmed. So like seeing things like Virgil having an air dash, it was like, how do you get that animation? How do you get the animation for that? It's like, because it existed in Heroes and Heralds and they just rerouted it. Yeah.
He's also in Devil Trigger.
Yeah, but this one you actually see like the magic behind him, the same as Dante when he like double jumps and such. Like it's always Devil May Cry. Yeah, that's how you can tell it's different. But regardless, that's really gonna be it. All right, there's one small thing, and then we'll close up here on Street Fighter. The Capcom Germany. I'm trying to think as to where this is coming from. I think supposedly, because I don't know, the demo isn't. I don't think the demo is like restricted there, but Capcom Germany did post up something is coming on Twitter. This was recent. This was yesterday. So the demo had already been out. So unless the demo's not there, which I'm not 100% sure, we might be seeing potentially another. I don't want to say beta, but something. It's such a weird announcement.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but hey, maybe a Rashid trailer. That'd be cool, right?
Rashid trailer, I can take that.
Expected to come out in the summer.
That is actually very, very true. That is very, very true. I did not even think about a Rashid trailer. That would actually be a pretty good look.
But again, we still haven't seen much gameplay of E Honda, much gameplay of many new characters. We've gotten the JP trailer with gameplay with Blanca, but it just wasn't, I don't think, enough. It wasn't as much as what we saw with like the latest like Cammy and Manon type of clips. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. But we'll just have to wait and see and find out if we do have any news coming through for Street Fighter 6 alongside the maybe, I don't know, potential, like you said, pre-launch, maybe a trailer or something like that would be pretty dope. So let's move on. Let's get some minor notes here. So I don't know if you noticed, but the KOF 15 crossplay beta came out. Did you?
I did notice.
It just like slipped my mind.
Friday,
Thursday
night,
like
or Friday night it started. I haven't caught into it just because again I was away, and I just never got to go into it. So
I was talking to a homie Shakugan, known KOF player. Shout out to homie. I think he did very well in Slam recently, in both Tekken and KOF. You'll probably see him a lot at the Coach Steve streams. He tends to commentate there for a lot of coaches tournaments. I got to talk to him, and he was telling me like the beta came out, and it's like good for Xbox and I think it's like Xbox and PC. He says like PlayStation was having issues, or I believe. So PlayStation crossplay was like having problems. Japan and Asia's just like having a good time with it, but he says NA is like having issues with it right now. So it wasn't really the best launch. There's supposed to be maybe a hot fix coming through, but you know, hopefully they get that sorted out, because they need that. They need those adjustments that they're making, man, because they're trying to crossplay with everything. If you remember that announcement, it was just like Steam, you know, Xbox, Microsoft Store, PlayStation, and I felt like there was like another one. I think it might have been like another launcher, like all playing together in perfect harmony. This beta right now is not showing up too much though.
Yeah, the main issue is that they're having matchmaking issues already, like beforehand. Like, fix one thing, not try to implement something else,
and leave the one
or
thing
just
busted.
Maybe that's what people are bringing up. Yeah,
potentially. But if it's anything like, you know, Strive, where everything's just imploding on itself, you know, at least you can at least get a match, at least. And I put that with the hardest of asterisks though. So, speaking of Strive, this was kind of a this kind of crossed my my mind, or rather, it came across my mind when I was thinking about it. But we should be expecting. There's been no actual announcement, but we should be expecting a new character this month.
Yeah.
So
they did tease that, right? I mean, they teased it at the end of the Arc World Tour, was it?
Well, no, we got Bedman, was who we've known for a while now. And remember, Bedman was initially supposed to be in March. Got pushed to April, right? So we were supposed to have that gap in between.
We got that book trailer.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we did get that book trailer. We did get the Asuka, aka that man. We don't know if that's going to be the character though. But regardless, May, we are supposed to get another character and additional stage here.
Mm-hmm.
But is that, wait, hold on. Sorry, let me run that back again. Is it 4 or 5 in season 2? 4 or 5 characters.
I mean, we can check.
Yeah, double check for me, because I mean, if it's 4, then we know it's supposed to be. Is it? Like because they announced season 3. They announced season 3 for that is happening, right? Season 3 DLC is a thing, which I'm like, all right, cool, more characters, awesome. The colors are whatever. They've talked about the colors ever since the last patch with Bedman. And Asuka's been the only one that they've kind of alluded to as to coming out, but I don't think that means Asuka would come out this patch or this season pass, though Asuka should, because you know we want new characters, right? We technically got a new character in Bedman, but kind of it's a legacy character, but plays very, very different from the original. And we've gotten 2 other legacy characters. So right now if you want to take it verbatim, we have no new characters this patch yet. They have all been legacy characters. So Asuka would be the first one to kind of break that mold for the DLC on this pack. So yeah, I'm wondering if it is going to be Asuka or if it's going to be somebody else. They're going to just throw it through a loop. But we should be, if they don't make any kind of formal announcement, we should be getting someone this month. So, like, I know that we got that pushback, but like that doesn't mean that the whole schedule has been shifted though.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be just one more character we expect for this season.
Okay.
Remember, at least that's what I keep forgetting the word of what they use, like the I don't want to say upcoming or oh gosh,
the roadmap.
Thank you. Yes, the roadmap.
It is 4. Yeah, apologies. It is 4 characters. Yeah, I pulled it up. The graphic I was looking for was like kind of like this one right here. It's a little dated because it was before we knew, obviously, that Bedman was number 3. But yeah, so we should be getting one in May. So we should be getting a new character to round off season 2, which also makes sense. This new character gets announced. We got Evo. They can make the announcement for the next character if they want to show up there, or see Otaku or something. Gives us the next kind of season of fighting game circuit, like the following year would make sense. I think
Combo Breaker still gives them the chance for May. They only delayed Bedman for what a month.
About a month, but it's supposed to come unless you're trying to say they're gonna be like, here's the character, and then like be like out now and blow everybody's brains. Okay, I'm down for that. I don't like to wait.
They should.
I don't like to wait.
Yeah, if they're trying to get the character right, sure. But I mean, Sin came out already Thanksgiving. Like that's such a long time ago.
Thanksgiving now to April, to April, and then I was thinking about that. That's the reason why this came across my mind, because I was thinking about, I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on with Guilty Gear besides it, exploding on itself network wise? I'm like, what's up with the DLC? I was like, we should be getting something, right? Like, yes, we just got Bedman, but I'm like, that was a drought, and I was like, Bedman got delayed, so I'm like, sporadic. Shouldn't there be somebody else coming up? And then I looked at it, I was like, oh shit, yeah, we need to be getting somebody this May. So I'm trying to think how they're going to announce. I mean, you're saying, Combo Breaker is like the biggest event you could do it at this month. It'll be at the end of the month. So
you have to do something because the Juggernaut is coming next month.
That is also very true. You are so right. Like, you need to come out.
Time is ticking.
Your character needs to be fire. So if it's Asuka, it needs to be fire. And you need to fix this network shit. Like,
you need to fix the network. You need to tease the next character already.
If those things aren't, that's the threefold. That's the check. That's the three to dos. Asuka, Asuka announcement and release. Network needs to be fixed, and you need to tell us what the fuck is coming up next. Like, those are the three things ArcSys needs to do before Street Fighter 6 comes in and makes not everybody, but a lot of people forget about Strive.
Right. You want to make sure that people are watching. I mean, people are going to watch the game second at Evo, because obviously no game is going to reach Street Fighter 6's
no, hell no.
By the way, we didn't get an update on the numbers, what they look like for Sunday.
For combo or Evo?
Evo. We didn't get the numbers yet. It's a new month, that's why I say.
Gotcha.
Last month we got it at April 9th. But what I'm trying to say is that you're gonna want your game to have the second best, I guess, announcement. Yeah, you want to win Evo at this point, because Street Fighter, they've already showed their four characters expected.
Yeah.
Like, what announcement are they even gonna have at Evo?
They're gonna show you
a trailer
gameplay.
A trailer for Rashid and or Girl.
Rashid's coming out before Evo.
Right, he's coming out summer.
We should be getting Rashid before Evo.
Aki trailer. Yeah.
And then, Rashid, I think they said June or July. Like, I think they said July. Like, there's an actual month for Rashid, because I was like, that's before Evo. So that means Rashid will be viable for Evo, more than likely. But then Aki, they should be showing off Aki. And it makes sense. New character. Like, they should show off. If not just Aki, then maybe everyone else too. Like, Aki and maybe Ed, they'll show them both. And then they'll save Akuma for later. But yeah, like, that's right now. ArcSys is definitely on the clock. Those are the three things that they need to round up before 6 just pulls out the table and comes to the table and pulls something out and just lays it out there and just be like,
because
how much you want that $1 million?
Before you know it, Tekken's gonna be in there real quick. Before you know it, Dragon Ball. I mean, Bandai Namco themselves, they're all in cahoots. ArcSys and Bandai Namco. Yeah. But sure. Before Mortal Kombat, by the way, that's what we're going to get into next. Like, Mortal Kombat, they set the stage right now.
Oh, man.
If they don't have an announcement for Combo Breaker, I mean, they're based out of Chicago, then you're going to expect the biggest announcement at Evo.
Yep. It would make sense for that combo.
Guilty Gear. Let's get it together.
Facts. All right. So, actually, let's get into it with MK. MK, man. The drought has been fucking real, like sand in an hourglass. We just can't get shit. But regardless, even through the leaks, right? Mortal Kombat, the highly anticipated Mortal Kombat 12 during the investors meeting, right? The public call. That was still never acknowledged. Boone just constantly trolling. And just people are just waiting on the wing, right? Like, when are we going to get something? We got something. Something. Actually, shit, I thought I had the tweet ready. Let me pull it up again. But we got something.
It's everywhere. It's on Facebook, YouTube, all of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing that we got isn't much, but it came in the order of something that's actually still incredible. Like, I don't want to kind of undermine it, but celebrating 30 years of Mortal Kombat is insane. Like, I remember Mortal Monday The original Mortal Monday, when they actually released it, I remember that shit. My older brother remembers that shit because we were, you know, especially in the arcades and such, it was insane. So, you know, Mortal Kombat originally came out, the very first one, let me see. Mortal Kombat 1 release was 1992. Yeah, it was 1992. I just want the exact date. October 8th, 1992.
In time for Halloween.
Dubbed Mortal Monday.
I had the original game for Sega Genesis.
The inferior one.
Also, incorrect. I also, it is what contributed to my fear at the time of skeletons and of yellow glowy eyes in the background, you know.
Goro's lair. Yep.
Yeah, Goro's lair, or even just Goro himself. Like it or even my fear of the game over screen in both games in Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, you know. So kudos to them. However, man, there was a period where they fell off, and for them to keep sticking around as much as they did, with Acclaim and all of those guys not supporting them,
Midway Acclaim, doing its thing,
WB really picked up.
And WB and becoming NetherRealm, like it is nothing short than an incredible story for such an impactful fucking pop culture icon that is Mortal Kombat. Like it is just so much bigger. Like, right, you know, the impact. We could say it over and over. There's so many documentaries. We're not gonna go over everything here, but you know, creation of the ESRB, right? It's so, you know, the actions of the game made the ESRB a thing nowadays. Regulation on the games, you know, the history behind the actually, you know, the lore about it being originally a game for Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? For those that are not young enough to know who that is, right? An actor and a martial arts actor at the time.
If you are listening to this show, you know who Real Guile is, okay?
Maybe it's not. It might not even. You know what's funky? There might be some cats that just don't. But you know, the story of MK is just incredible, and for it to celebrate 30 years, like I said, is just an incredible achievement. That there aren't even that many video games that can really do that. That are still going strong today. There are some that are that old, but that doesn't mean they're active now, right? While as MK is still as prevalent as it is today, right? Movie, animated series, multiple animated movies as well to boot. The sequel to Mortal Kombat, the recent Mortal Kombat movie, is a thing. It's in production. It's Get Over Here, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, like everything about it is just so iconic. So 30 years of it going strong is just incredible.
Listen, I went to a retreat and I heard a pastor use Mortal Kombat as a reference. Yeah. So, you know, it's everywhere. Trust me.
Okay. I hope it was something. I hope the brother was something like, the devil will take your soul like Shang Tsung. Like he went in on that. Oh my God, that's like hilarious. That, And then his eyes started growing green. And then his eyes started growing green, and you were like,
yeah.
I think I went to the wrong camp.
Right. It was in more detail, but it's fine. No worries. Talk about another day.
Jeez. All right, whatever. But all right, so past all this, past the great, you know, the great talks about it being 30 years and all the appreciation and gratitude, we get a single grain of hope.
Before that, can I just gush about Ed Boon's lair, like Girl's lair?
Oh yeah.
Having the arcade of Mortal Kombat 4, that's nostalgic to me. Now, granted, Mortal Kombat 1 being at Pizza Hut was nostalgic for me. Yes, I get it. And he has the other game with the arena game sitting there too. But Mortal Kombat 4 is super nostalgic for me. This freaking Spaghetti Warehouse, if anybody knows of that place. Here in Philly, it's now called Union Transfer or whatever it is. All of that, I would love to just be in that room.
Yeah, by the way, it's called The Grid, if you forgot.
The Grid, thank you.
Yes, The Grid. Shout
anyway,
out.
Go on. You were saying about some grain of salt? Grain of sand.
So at the end, we get Ed Boon, obviously one of the co-creators of Mortal Kombat, to actually state like, hey, we're not done yet, right? Like, thank you for everything, but we're not done yet. And then we get a little inside a hourglass as sand drops, and then the very last grain comes in that looks like popcorn or whatever, and then it just explodes, and That's it. That's all we got. But it was enough for us to quench our thirst. Like, holy shit, we finally got something that we already know was happening, but they've actually shown just like it's next to nothing. All right, let's be very clear. It's something, but it's practically nothing else. So yes, hourglass, a grain of sand exploding. When we last left, Liu Kang and MK11, spoilers, especially post all the DLC and everything, him becoming the god, the new god of fire and thunder, recreating the universe, and ends up with his ancestor Kung Lao at the end. It's like, oh, I'm gonna train you, and then like that's it. Like, we're gonna probably get into what I'm suspecting is more multiverse craziness. They're kind of going the comic book route, right, with Marvel. Like, they're gonna just be a multiverse of madness deal, because we saw that even in the finales of the DLC of the original story in MK11 with Raiden and Liu Kang fighting each other, and you see all the different versions of them throughout time doing it. So cool. It's gonna be insane. More of a reason for them to bring everybody. Just give me Armageddon levels of roster. I want it to be so unbalanced that like we're just gonna live. I want everyone.
No. Can you imagine Batman shows in?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wait a minute. I just had a theory. I know Kevin Conroy has passed. Rest in peace. But can they AI his voice?
There are some actors that have agreed to it. There's some actors that you have no choice to, like James Earl Jones for Darth Vader has publicly stated that he's licensed out his voice now, that like whenever he does pass, like you could use his voice and likeness in perpetuity afterwards to create the series for Darth Vader. Yeah, like I don't know if Kevin Conroy is in that same boat, but I know James Earl Jones has stated that, so that's pretty cool. We're not gonna go into the rabbit hole with AIs and all that, but we don't know. Who knows? There have been a lot of Batman voices since Kevin Conroy. I know Kevin Conroy. I can't even call him Kevin Conroy. That's just Batman. Ever since that Batman has passed, there have always been other Batmen doing that same job that have done some solid jobs. May not be the same, but.
And I ask as a tangent because we've had Raiden in Injustice 2. We've had, was it Injustice 2?
Sub-Zero as well. Yeah.
Sub-Zero Injustice 2.
And Raiden.
And Scorpion in Injustice 1.
Yep.
Just ideas throwing out their guest characters. As you said, we can finally get, God, I almost said Hanzo, but it's not Hanzo. It's not Genji. Those are Overwatch characters. This is the blind guy with the sword. We can finally get him back.
Kenshi?
Thank you. And what happened to his son and even Kung Jin, is it?
Kung Jin, yeah.
We didn't get him in the last game. Like, it was mind-boggling what they did with favorites from MKX. I don't know.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. That's why I said I want everybody.
Yeah. Do you think it'll make any drastic character changes, or? I
think they need to. I mean, MKX was like the first one in terms of I don't want to say first, but it was one that I think impacted when it came to like the big IPs where they're trying to pass on the torch, right? Like trying to create characters that are passing on the torch from those original OGs that everyone knows and loves, right? And I think they did a great job. So I don't see any reason why they couldn't keep going. Like, sure, still have the original characters in there, but I think it's time for them to kind of push that narrative more towards the next gen even more. It would be great. So
before we hit you out with this this sweet segue of an ad break, I want to just say I hope they don't go too different, because then the casual scene will say what happened to the characters, because they won't know, hey, I didn't finish story mode. I didn't know there was a story like this. I didn't know Raiden's now human, or I didn't know this, that, the other. That's a really big risk whenever you're rebooting a franchise.
Yeah, but the way they saved their butts is, like I said, was that multiverse stuff, because now they can... Because now we're talking, whenever you include like time travel or multi-dimensional stuff, you now open the gates to... no pun intended, the X factor of like, you can make anything happen now. Like anything. You can bring back anyone that has died. You can kill anyone and then reverse that, right? It's the superhero thing. It's like once they killed Superman in comics and brought him back, the stakes were never the same sense. Like look up. I know I'm talking documentaries, but look that up, right? The the death of Superman with Doomsday, the first time that ever happened, and then when they backpedaled and brought him back, like how big of a blow that was, or not a blow, a big change, a big paradigm shift it was for comics. MK has done the same. They can do that at this point. They've already technically did, right, with Armageddon and MK9. They went like, oh, I'm going back in time and changing the formula of things, right? And now they wrote themselves to whatever they can at this point. But it's gonna be really interesting to see. I just can't wait. I need a trailer. Give me the dubstep. I don't care. Whatever. Just give me, or some hotness, man. I still love the one they did with the old school trailer. Still one of my favorite trailers they ever did with MK11. You know, you better wreck yourself. Check that Ice Cube joint was fire, and then they brought in some of the new stuff at the end. It was still like ridiculous. Still one of my favorite ones. But yeah, in the meantime though, we're gonna hit you with your favorite ad break right now before we wrap things up with the randoms of the FGC. We'll be right back after this, guys. Stay tuned. All right, and we are back. Just closed up on the 30 years of MK talk. MK12, hopefully announcement soon. But let's just get into some of the randoms of the FGC here. Close out this show for you guys tonight. Nothing too crazy. It's going to be one interesting one, but the other one that I just have to put out there. If you didn't already, this was not planned, obviously, in any way, shape, or form. It just happened at the time. But we were having discussions around... ever since like Lil Wayne getting announced for Street Fighter 6, but not for Street Fighter 6, but for showcasing the showcase, right? For hosting the showcase, and some motherfuckers is like, oh, like that's not, a specific idiot that I'm not going to still say their name was like, oh, what is this hip hop stuff and fighting games? I'm like, bro, fighting games have always been hip hop, always been hip hop. Street Fighter 6 is just now definitely even more hip hop than it was before. But yeah, this recently came out. This was posted up. I think it was who actually posted. It was Alex Myers. Okay, yeah, it was Alex Myers. Posted up from Jpegmafia x Danny Brown going on and doing a tour. Their hit, Scaring the Hoes. If you haven't checked that out, it's actually a pretty dope track. And like, I mean, how dope is it that their flyer is on some CVS 1? This isn't even CVS 2, right? This isn't CVS 2. Right. This is CVS 1, I believe. Yep. CVS 1 style ass fucking... Actually, hold up. No, is this CVS 1?
Yes, it's CVS 1, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm just looking at the character select down there. I'm like, is that everybody? Nope, it's not. Because we're like missing cats like Vega and shit. Oh, no, Vega is there. Wait, is this CVS 1?
It is CVS 1, yes. It is. Trust me.
All right, I trust.
Yeah, actually,
you son of a bitch.
Oh, God. Well, I don't see Maki, and I don't see Hibiki. Yeah, it is CVS.
Oh yeah. There is. Yeah, you're right. There is no Hibiki and shit in there. All right, cool. So with a CVS 1 style fucking flyer, and Jpegmafia is fucking Ryu, and we've got Danny Brown as Kyo, like. Son, I don't know what more you need me to fucking tell you. Like, this shit's engraved in it. It's engraved in the culture. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, I wanted to put out there because it just happened to come out at the same time. So, kind of bummed they're not coming out to. Oh no, they are coming out to Philadelphia.
Yes, they are.
Franklin Music Hall. Oh, let's go. I might actually go and peep that out. I'm gonna be like, yo, play me 1v1 right now. You trying to play some CVS 1, dog? Like. We'll see what goes down.
I like the OST is pretty good for CVS 1.
Oh yeah, there's some good stuff. CVS 2 still takes the cake there though.
See, that's what everybody's gonna say.
Because it does. Yeah. So besides Scaring the Hoes here, we've got this clip I came across this clip because I think it was just earlier today. Yeah. So XQC, I'm sure you know him. Twitch extraordinaire, the reason why the $50 million that were invested into Overwatch League is what created this guy's career. That they basically invested $50 million to create SQC's streaming career. That's not what I said. That's what our homie DJ Wheat says, and I completely agree with him.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the best thing that came out of Overwatch League. Sorry, bro.
Okay.
But yeah,
was he an Overwatch League player? Is that where?
Yeah, you don't know that? He was from Team Canada. He was a fucking Winston main.
Oh,
for the World Cup, and I forget what team he played on, but he was in the World Cup like several times. Yeah, he was a Winston main. But yeah, so he did a tier maker list, right? Our favorite thing to do. Two things. One, do you see how many fucking tabs this guy has open at the top?
My God.
They're all TikTok. It's crazy. So he did a highest skill cap / most competitive esports tier list. And you know, we're talking your Rocket Leagues, your fucking StarCrafts, chess, Rainbow Six, Gears of War. There's a whole bunch of them, including some fighting games, right? So we have S to F tier, and he kind of just went in. So he started off with S, and he instantly went with I think it was StarCraft 2 and an original StarCraft, which I wholeheartedly Dota and both the StarCrafts, which I wholeheartedly agree with. If you are a competitor in that, you're a fucking psycho, but you're sick because like they're cut from the same cloth, especially the StarCraft guys. I've done a lot of events with StarCraft guys, and they are no different from fighting. Like they are pretty edged with fighting games because it's a 1v1 game, right? Like so a lot of similarities are there. It's just the amount that you need to do there is way. I think the APM is insane against fighting games, like higher for sure, and there's just so much more you have to like juggle. It's wild. Pylons, but they're cut. They're definitely pylons and shit. But they're cut from the same cloth for sure. But the reason I bring it up is because we did have Street Fighter and Tekken. Those are the only two fighting games posted up in there, which I mean makes sense. It's like kind of the two most recognizable, right? So in S tier, we got the StarCraft, we got the Dota and such, Dota 2 and all. Then he ran right into I believe it was Tekken and Street Fighter next. He did fighting games afterwards, and he was just like A tier, like instantly. Because even the chat was starting to go like, "Yo, Tekken," like they're like Tekken for A, Street Fighter A, and he was like, "Yes." Tekken, and he asked the chat, he's like, "Yo, Tekken and Street Fighter A, sound good?" And everyone's like, "Yep, that's about right. That's about right." Right up there with League in A, which I was like, okay, respect. I only just want to put that part of the clip up. He goes on to do the rest. If you want to go check that out, check it out. Spoilers: he put all sports. He put all sports games in F.
Is he? Yeah, I know, right? Is he on Windows 11? Oh no, okay.
Yes.
So, excuse me. Wow. Yeah. I'm serious. Like, real recognizes real. He was a Hearthstone player, I believe, as well, right? But where did he put Hearthstone? I would like to see.
I don't think he played Hearthstone, bro. No? XQC? No. But he put Hearthstone, I think, at C. He put it around C.
The game has become something different, and this is a problem. Like, when you continue to maybe upgrade a game, but also you sort of, I don't want to say dumb down it or maybe change it too much, then your competitive aspect of the game sort of goes down. Or to quote Scott Steiner, drastic go down. So I don't know, like why is Minecraft even there? Is there a competitive part?
Yes, there is. There's definitely competitive Minecraft. If you have not seen those competitive build events and shit, those go crazy. But he also did want to ignore this. He also did have Smash above Street Fighter, but below Tekken is what we're seeing. Obviously, this is nothing definitive or anything, but it was very interesting to see.
Yeah. The amount of inputs you're putting into Smash, you're also psychotic.
You're constantly moving. It's very different. Yeah. But I thought this was really cool. This clip just came across my feed, and I was like, oh, I'm very curious as to where he's putting it, and he put it in. I was like, respect. I'll take that. I don't want to say it's the most competitive, but it's not easy either. It is not easy. But yeah, so shout outs to XQC for that one. Much love for that one. I appreciate you. I think he put Overwatch in like C as well. Just give you a heads up there.
Yeah.
That's how he ended up putting it there. But what did you guys think? You guys agree with that list? Let us know. But in the meantime, that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Double Tap. We'll say I appreciate y'all for hanging out with us for another week here. Of course, make sure to follow us at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms. Once again, on our YouTube, subscribe over there. Come say what's up. Comment, like. We do, like I said, we put up and cut up the show and put the highlights in there, as well as the full video podcast of itself. So if you're listening on your podcast platform of choice, awesome. But if you want to check out, as kind of our visuals here as we're going through the show as well, if you want to get to see our pretty faces, I'm just gonna Vogue right now. You guys can check it out once again on YouTube That is at Double Tap FGC. We appreciate all you guys tuning in once again, listening to us for another episode this week. All love. You guys can follow us. Of course, follow me at CrashTagVS. You can follow my awesome host Static at Static Gorilla on all social media platforms. Homeboy's streaming. He has his TNS streams. He's at the lab on Thursdays. Go shout outs to Vermilion series out there, Vermilion_series on Twitch. That's where he usually goes live. He's usually playing Guilty or Marvel are like the flavors right now.
Yeah, whatever is happening, there's a different game every week.
Yeah. They usually mix it up for sure. But yeah, make sure to follow, of course, mash those buttons at the Mash Network. Check out when the new show is up and live. We do go live on Mondays, but new episode on the podcast will go out every Tuesday weekly. Followed by a bunch of tweets and such throughout the week. So make sure to go follow Mash Those Buttons at the Mash Network. Once again, all love. And you guys can give us some feedback, of course, is greatly appreciated. Whatever podcast platform of choice it is. Let us know what you like about the show. Let us know what you don't like about the show. YouTube as well, comments, everything like that. We had discussions, obviously, on several different topics that have gone on in the past, like Momochi spitting out how like players need to be banned and all that. There's some people that have been talking over there. Come contribute to the conversation there. And you can also contribute via the Discord, mash.gg/Discord. Join us there. Come say what's up to our awesome community that we have over there. We post up articles. We get some thoughts going, some ideas going for some potential conversation we want to have here on the show. Go join us over there as well. All love to everyone that is there. Shout outs to you guys. And you guys can share the show free of charge, of course, liking, retweeting when the show goes live. When we tweet out that new episode is up, it all helps a whole lot. Something small for y'all, but something huge that helps the show out. So appreciate you guys. Stay tuned after the show, of course, to hear about the other shows here on the MTV Network. We'll be live next week on Monday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, of course. Come check us out there on twitch.tv/mash those buttons. If not, like I said, podcast every Tuesday. But until then, we'll see y'all next round. Later.
Hasta.
Next to this, they simply fail to exist. So blaze of a split and let the pictures unfold. Let me lift up your souls until you raise on your tiptoes. Weightless as if floating in space in a ship, taking a trip to a strange distant place only it knows. Maybe this is the most significant day for this globe since Poland got invaded by Hitler. So savor in each moment a day that we're free, cause it's inevitable that the rest of